One thing I love to get, a lovely pack of comics that I really have no idea what they're going to look like at this point. There's about 20 of them in here. Ordered them online, so I'm just going to quickly go through them. So let's just drag them out at this point. Squeak. And, well, of course, there's another wrapping inside. So I still have no great idea of what's actually in there. But you can see the first one. So let's just go through this pack and just obviously run through. I think there's some Thors. There's also a few other ones. Now, I think that's just one of the great things of eBay. Well, it used to be years ago, of course, you go down the market and you could sort of find these bundles of comics. Also, of course, various jumble sales and things. You'd go and find like these packs of like 10 comics for about a penny or something. I guess this is like the equivalent where you really have no idea until you actually get them, other than obviously in this case, some of the covers, so I knew exactly what I was going to get, but I had no idea the condition. It said rough, read-only sort of reading copies, so let's just go for it. So the first one here is Animal World, and I have no idea what that one is. Actually, straight away, so obviously this one's had a slight bit of problems at the top. It's been chewed by a dinosaur. You can see that obviously that's an impact it's had, but I've got flakes all over the place. Not, unfortunately, chocolate flake all over the place. But still, there's some of the story there. It's obviously a early man and mammals. But I love these sort of ones, these sort of Dell ones. These are just great. After 1 billion years, 1.5 billion years, I should say. Was that 1 billion and half a year? That's very close, isn't it? But anyway, probably not. When no living creature ventured out of its native sea. Now, recently I watched a lovely documentary, a series of about 6 or 7 episodes, which was showing all the development of all the things. I'm certain some of the facts have slightly changed over the years, but still, it's fascinating. Now, there's actually no adverts, it seems, in this. I think that's the case sometimes with Dell ones. They didn't always put adverts, but it's got things like Stegosaurus, and waded for his food in the stagnant ponds of the Jurassic period, etc. But still, looks a nice little issue. I have no idea when it was. This is issue 703. I love the way they were like so ridiculous numbers. When was that? 1956. So a 1956 comic. So that's the first one. And brush myself down because it's everywhere. I knew that one was going to be slightly flaky, so I'll put that over there, slightly out of the way. This one is an interesting one. Brothers of the Spear. Now, I'm not particularly familiar. I think it's like a Conan-like sort of Tarzan sort of variation, but it's Whitman. Of course, that was like Dell as well, Gold Key, etc. And you've got there the story there. I have no idea. The artwork looks quite good. I don't even know sometimes it's very hard to work out unless you look on the various databases online to find out the artists. But of course, you've got the adverts there for Roadrunner, Tweety and Sylvester, etc., which are great. Now, I love these sort of bundles, and I wish people would put more bundles of these sort of like coverless comics or tatty comics, as I always think of them. But unfortunately, people don't. And the same at comic fairs and things. I guess it costs money to lug them along, so why would you do that? But it's always pity because I love these sort of ones. Unfortunately, sometimes when you get these ones, they end up, some people put like £5 or £6 on for a sort of coverless comic that frankly is worth £1 at most, 50p. But still, you got the story there. You've obviously got various, I don't know, whatever it is. I haven't read the story. Never actually had a copy of this before. That's why one of the reasons why I bought this lot, because I thought, it's got a few unusual ones that I haven't got issues of. Leopard Girl, and whatever that is, and Munyar's Miracle, it says there. I don't know what the story's about there. It's obviously got the good old short story there as well. And you've got some other ones, Pink Panther. Now, I just ordered the Pink Panther collection, all the TV episodes. So I'm looking forward to sitting watching those. Really can't wait to see that. Woody Woodpecker, I'm not going to sit and watch those, but I did enjoy the Pink Panther one. Colourful Baboons there at the back. Whitman comics. Now, I used to pick up the odd Whitman comic. Wouldn't say that I had vast numbers of them, but they did turn up around in town. Impact Comics, the Crusaders. Now, I love these characters. These ones, of course, all the like old, I think Archie sort of, the real comics from a long, long time ago. But these, obviously, this is a new one, Mark Waid, and you can see there, I don't know what year that was. That was 1992. So 1992, Slaves of New York. And I've no idea. Actually, I haven't read any of the modern Crusaders, but it was like Mighty Crusaders. They were in the 60s. There were loads. The comics were great. They were really weird. But you had like S.H.I.E.L.D. and all those sort of characters. And you can see there, I don't know, like Fly Girl, Fly Man, and all those sort of characters. I don't know the characters who are in this one, but like I say, this is one of the reasons why I love these sort of packs of comics, because you find sort of some unusual sort of titles like that. I always love the adverts on the back. Kiss, Revenge, apparently. I never bought. New album available everywhere, and Hot Dog, Frankenweenie. Don't know. He's rechargeable apparently. Mystery in Space. Now that's a nice one. Now this one's not too 66, issue 66, Superman. Oh, it's still 10 cents, which is quite good. The creature has turned my ray gun to stone. Aha, the grey gargoyle kind of character. Anyway, whatever. But this one's again is a nice, lovely, tatty one. This is 1961. I always loved 1961. Always a great year. Space Island of Peril. Now this is probably fairly early of, I don't know what issue he started with. But you can see there the older. Actually, it's not too bad. The cover's slightly coming off. And I always love that stamp. They always stuck 9. Actually, it's a reasonable location. Normally, it was like on the face kind of thing. They'd always do that. But great artwork as well. I always enjoyed these stories. Ran. I've got, of course, these in omnibus edition. But the omnibus edition is unfortunately one of the worst omnibus editions. It's like falling to pieces, literally all the glue and everything. It's just coming out. But it's still a joy to look at all those stories. Of course, a lot cleaner and nicer than this, but still, I love the smell of that. You can really smell that old comic, The Amazing Universe. You got here, obviously, you got all details about 5 light years, and obviously that was the thing. They always included lots of scientific facts. Cease resistance. Or some chopped it out as well, unfortunately. Always the way when you get these old. Always wonder sometimes what was there, because it suddenly disappeared. Maybe it was an advert or something that they thought, oh, you must get that. And of course, it was always things like seeds and whatever. I don't know what that is in the back, I guess. Oh no, probably cards. Whatever it was. But still, still falling to pieces even more. Is make money, get prizes on the back. Here's another one. Mystery in Space. Oh, this one's in this issue, a new Whitman thriller. Oh, it must have. So 88, so it's a bit further on. This one, slightly sliced there. You can see that's weird. How odd. Very badly chopped there. This one, Robot Wrath of Ran. That's a bit of alliteration there. But you got 1963. And I love picking up these ones, these old sort of DC comics. I got loads. There was a great shop in town. It was called Treasure Chest. And literally had, they had sort of clamps on all the various comics, and they had piles of comics inside. And for some weird reason, they never had Marvel comics. I don't know why Marvel comics never seemed to turn up in there. But there was always seemed an unending, for me anyway, supply of DC comics. Literally all the ones that now are Grail issues. You got all the classic ones with Poison Ivy, the first issue. They turned up, all of them were there. They weren't brilliant condition, but at the same time, they were still pretty good. And it was just a great way of reading lots of things in Justice League of America. I loved those ones. Teen Titans, of course, showcase books. Loads of those turned up, and they were great. And of course, you got there the story there. Your weapons can't harm me, but I can destroy them. Oh well. Of course he wins, of course. Of course, Adam Strange has got to win. And in Hawkman, I didn't realise that Hawkman was in this. Anyway, obviously was. Topsy-turvy day in Midway City. And I always love that. They're always odd places, these ones, of course. There's Hawk Girl there as well. So obviously she was included in the story. And obviously I assume he must have got his own comic a little bit later. Of course, he was also with Atom and Hawkman as well. And of course, you got here I love those ones. The Justice League of America, they were my favourites. Unfortunately, I don't think any Justice League of America. There might be one, maybe. Strange Adventures as well. I loved all the science fiction ones. Great stories. But Justice League was always my favourite, as well as Justice Society of America. But they never had, weirdly, that shop never had any sort of Golden Age ones. The only Golden Age ones I ever got were at Comic Marts, and they were always generally coverless. They were really tatty, sort of, and they were still expensive. They weren't super cheap. You got like early Supermans, like issue 20 or 21 or something, and it was like £10, which was quite a lot of money. Was a lot of money, and it was, but still great just to get that sort of kind of early issues and things like All American Comics and things. I love those. Now, 9D again. That was obviously the price at that time. This was obviously Superman, Lex Luthor, and Brainiac, of course, there. And there's never been a minute like Brainiac and Luthor team up to destroy Superman. And the team up, obviously a Marvel team up, but this time a DC villain team up, the Deadly Duo. And of course got old Lex Luthor. How many times he tried to win? Never did, of course. Or did he? I don't know. He probably did win occasionally. But there he was, a master computer, etc., etc. Oh, you got the usual. This one in trouble with a lot of these ones is the staples. Just suddenly felt the staples sort of sticking into my finger there. Of course, got there. And a few more Brainiac, etc., etc. Lots of... Oh, only more adverts. Strange, no adverts in this so far. Oh, there was, it hurts, etc. True, I feel pain, all my powers. How many times does he have that? He must be getting quite used to actually losing his powers, Superman. It wasn't like it happened once, it happened thousands of times. And also, of course, got these subscriptions. I never ever went for these. I don't know. Did you go for a subscription? It's one of those ones. I always thought, should I? Because they weren't too bad. But of course, I didn't really know what $2.40 at the time. I think, well, probably not very much. It was about £1. The pound was a bit stronger, I think, at the time. Might even been $4 to a pound. Certainly was earlier than that, I think. But Adventure Comics, I loved Adventure Comics. Legions of Superheroes, that was just great. And of course, another their Superman one. They always had nice split stories, which I always enjoyed. Never worried me that there was only like 10 pages of story and why extend it beyond what it needs to be. But like I said, weird. Didn't have many adverts in there. But this one, again, 1964. So 1964 one. That's very nice. Oh, this is a slightly new one. I love this one. I got the Teen Titans, the first of the new Teen Titans. It was in a DC Presents or something like that. And it was a Superman one and Green Lantern. And unfortunately, I got rid of it. I had about 4 copies of that. It was about the only comic I really bought, other than Iron Man 128. I bought quite a few of. I thought, oh, I get that. And I always love these ones, include this 16-page, and obviously this one does. Night Force Preview. So that's pretty good. This one's New Teen Titans, number 21. George Perez. I bought all of these. I loved this one. I've got them now, of course, in Omnibus Edition. But I think absolutely Starfire, Raven, all those characters, just great. And of course, you've got All-Star there, Squadron as well. I love those ones. Firestorm, excellent. And of course, DC Presents as well. And what's that one? The Wonder Woman, of course, down there. And of course, you got those ones. I always wondered about the adverts sometimes. They always had these sort of cakes and things, various things. You think, oh, when I went first to the States, it was like, first thing I went to do, rush down to get in a delicatessen next door, sort of, and treat myself to all those unhealthy food. It was great. And sit watching Star Trek episodes. Loved it. Anyway, the Night Force, completely off the point there. That was great. Oh, it's Gene Colan, isn't it? That looks like Gene Colan. Doesn't say, but it looks like him. Yes, I'm certain that's Gene Colan. Certainly someone looking very much like his artwork. But it's great. Night Force. Don't know anything about that one, I must admit. But you got here, oh, Raven. I love that one when they did the mini-series. They did the one of Starfire, etc., etc. Obviously, that was the Tales of the Teen Titans. They did the Raven one. And you got there, the various stories, Blood or whatever it was, wasn't it? And, oh, good. Good tales. I did enjoy the TV series on Netflix, Teen Titans. Sad that they cancelled that. Oh, it's finished. Oh, another Teen Titans. Brother Blood. Obviously another one. That was number 22. Oh, that's good. This is the next issue as well. There he is. Ashes to Ashes. Sounds like a certain song, that one. But still, there it is. Robin, of course, getting by. Confess. Oh, of course not. His stamina, etc., etc. And, of course, Raven there. And a very dodgy-looking creature there. Not good. However, Sergeant Rock as well. Oh, 82. No, so it was 1982. 40 years ago. Wow. Right. Well, and of course, also you had the sister that turns up. That's another story. Complete spoiler there, isn't it? However, Titan Tower. I always love these ones as well. And you've got there Joe Kubert, the back. And Willy Wonka there. Oh, I love this one. This is great. I remember picking this up just actually slightly before I started collecting comics properly. I always think of comics collecting around about 73, 72. And this was the one, just the issue near enough before that I started, where Demons, and of course it's Loki. Special that, and of course that story that led on, of course, to the Dormammu story, which I just absolutely loved. Fire Sword, apparently, Mighty Thor. And of course, it's got Absorbing Man, of course, in the story as well. Actually, these are quite good. I mean, you can see it's obviously slightly brown, these issues, but they're not, it's not horrendous. Oh, poor old, he would never win. Why did he always try? He always did. He spent all his time doing that. And of course, he's got the good old Marvel checklist. And like I say, that's 116, Hulk 159, Claws of the Cat, number 2. Remember, I did buy quite a lot more bits coming up. I'm going to have to clean this all up afterwards. It's all falling to pieces. Lots of flake in there. But also Claws of the Cat. I love that one. War is Hell. Spoof, of course, came out. Fantastic 430. I got that one. The finish of the Frightful Four. I love the Frightful Four. I always felt they should come back more often. Night Nurse 2, of course, they're very collectible now, those ones. Captain Marvel 24, of course, led on to issue 25. That was the big main story with Thanos and that sort of storyline. Cosmic Cube coming along there. I love that character. Slightly character. Wonder where that was from. But anyway, and Loki, of course. And Kill, he says there. And much more. I always love these ones. These adverts. Marvel Comic Check. Of course, being in the UK, I'd never, ever felt like sending off for any of them. I don't know. Probably would have come. I don't know. Thing is, how would you get them? It never said anything about, you can get them from... and of course, we didn't have the internet then, so you couldn't sort of go and check and find out whether there was a way of guessing those. So that's a really good Thor one with Loki. Nice little issue, that one. So please. This one I absolutely loved when it came out at the time. I remember, crumbs, there's so many flakes here. It's going to be definitely a sweep is coming out. Right. Thou hast challenged Hercules. At this point, I don't think I probably knew much about Hercules because it was not a character that I was super familiar with, obviously, other than the Greek legend. But Hercules enraged. So you got really good. This one's a nice condition one as well. But it's Hercules one I do actually recall buying, and I love this story. Look at those lovely ones, these cassettes. You can get the tapes. You have, obviously, I think these were the car ones, weren't they? Selection of cassettes. You've got tape cassette, 8-track cartridge, 12 stereo, and reel-to-reel tapes. Whole collection of things. And of course, Asgard. For Asgard, for Krista, etc. The old Hercules, for Kratos. Oh, someone's cut out, of course, they had those little things where you cut out Marvel value stamps. Now, of course, there's a lovely book that came out with all the Marvel value stamps. They didn't need to chop that out. But it was, I chopped quite a few out as well, so I can't say that I didn't do that. So I regret doing that. Ruined probably a good few comics with that sort of thing. Again, more checklists there. Robert Bell, and there's, of course, Hercules again, Sprang, etc. Ares at the background. How unusual is that? Now, this one I don't recall particularly well. The Fire Lord. I mean, I do remember it, but at the same time, I don't think I ever read it. So it's always I did. I remember the bit where it starts. What is it? Maybe I'm confusing myself with another story. No, I'm confusing it with another Mangog story. So anyway. There's obviously Thor, obviously Jane Foster there, and she's back into the storyline. You've got all the various characters, obviously Asgard backwards and forwards. I did enjoy that period of Thor. I must admit, the Fire Lord story. I was never too keen on Fire Lord, I have to say. Of course, it went through a whole range of Terrax, etc. All the various Galactus assistants or various people he got in to do his dirty work. Why he just didn't spend his time searching for it himself. He had all that. He had a lot of time to spare. He always just sat around and he's wherever. This one, Sinister. Actually, the person that put a comment saying that these were all very battered, and I don't think they were too bad, considering. I'm quite pleased with these. Actually, I was really imagining it was going to be really horrendous. But this one, Sinister Tales, I love these ones, the Alan Class ones. Amazing stories. This one, it says Sinister Tales, Class A. Now, they're always a bit weird, these ones, because depending on the years, the fade, there's a serious fading in some of these, and some, look at that condition there. That's not too good, is it? Nothing too bad there, I suppose. But you've got some lovely ones. John Forte there. See some Atlas ones. And they always had lovely things where they put like from Astounding or something, or Astounding Tales. You knew where they came from. You got Behind the Mask and other stories. I just love the black and white. Black and white was great. Good. Back then, I used to pick up loads of these, and you'd find them everywhere. Literally thousands and thousands. I don't know how many they sold. It came from Another Tale to Marvel. So you guess that was Marvel Tales. Maybe, possibly. But it would say like Astounding or something else. But again, you really got some really good, sharp artwork in these stories. And the black and white was great. Murdoch's Brain. Obviously, well, that looks great. That one. Joe Maneely. A lovely bit of Joe Maneely. Look at that. Lovely Joe Maneely one. I love a Joe Maneely. Best time. And obviously, in black and white, absolutely brilliant. That does look good. That's a real nice, sharp, very classy one from, obviously, Atlas Comics. That was Murdoch there. And I don't know what the next one was. Emily. Pete Tumlinson. Or sometimes you could never read the writing. It was very hard to read sometimes. I'd read the bottom there. And another story there. I don't know what that one was. And then you got these ones, Wanted. I always love these ones. Wanted, obviously 157, etc. I wonder if they got them. American Marvel Comics, pre-1968, etc. And another one. This one's called Tower Comics. You got Tower Comics. I was going to say Tower Records, but it's not. Oh, it's weird. This one is slightly odd. This is Sinister Tales. Not Sinister Tales. Well, obviously slightly whiter. And you've got Dynamo. The secret word is, don't know, Tower. Dynamo. Actually, the artwork looks terrible. Not terrible in the sense of the artwork. It's got probably a bit of Wally Wood there, but the reproduction is absolutely awful. Don't know what happened there with the thing. That's just really awful. And the same with the next story, actually. The Man, it's amazing, just a bit of a difference. That was 214. This one was 154. So in the space 154, 214, I mean, really has sort of deteriorated. That's appalling. Very hard to work. And that's even worse. Look at that one. That was a real grotty looking reproduction there. The plates they got, obviously slightly different. And this one, another one. Oh, Ditko, good old Ditko. That's, again, very rough bit of Ditko there. I mean, obviously brilliant Ditko, as always. I mean, I love Ditko's work. But it's, you shall be banished, the deepest hole in earth, etc., etc. But it's not very good reproduction. Dynamo, oh, this is the old, whatever the name was, Nightshade or something. Robot. Oh, I don't know what. Anyway, Dynamo. But again, that's Chick Stone obviously there. But that's very odd. Very poor. Very strange. And suspense, I remember getting all those ones. Uncanny Tales, Astounding, all those sort of. And now I've got a lot of ones that are slightly different because they're coverless. And I love covers. Again, this is one of the things, a bundle of 30 or 20 or 30 sort of coverless comics, you can't beat. Just brilliant. No problem. Unfortunately, sometimes, of course, you end up with rusty staples. And what often I do, if I see rusty staples, I end up going over and putting some tape over them. I hate doing that. But at the same time, I prefer that instead of actually going and putting your finger to it and then end up getting rusty. And you've got also, of course, Batgirl in there as well and Batman. And some more Batgirl, obviously battling. And that's a bit, looks like Gil Kane. Good bit of Gil Kane there. It's always nice. Quite certain that is very unusual looking artwork, but I think that is Gil Kane. And also, got Elongated Man as well. Good old, this one, Ban Gloom, Team Beat. Good old advert for Team Beat as well. But that's a nice bit. I haven't seen that one. Elongated Man. I've got the complete set of, I assumed, in the showcase book of Elongated Man, but I don't recall this one. This is obviously detective, it must be in there. But that one, just the artwork just struck me slightly different from, it's probably in there, but it's obviously just in colour, so it's slightly different from how I experienced it before. But I love those stories. Elongated Man was one of my favourites. Great selection of stories, very short, often only like 6 pages, but they were always generally very, very good. And look at that, you've also got things like the Bob Hope. Well, they continue. Did they still continue with Bob Hope? That is unbelievable. 108. They were still continuing it all the way through. And that was, when was that? 1967. You've got Sergeant Rock. You've also got House of Mystery. You've also got Challengers of the Unknown, Our Army, and many others. And also that one as well. Oh, what's that? Something I thought it was an insect. No, it's not. I don't know what that is. Something. Challengers of the Unknown. Who is he? I don't know. Nor have I. Petrified Giant. Okay. So that breaks up the dynamic duo. This one's a good one. The Batgirl's costume. Oh, I've got strange. I've obviously got a bit of the comic. Oh, don't understand that. Is that off that one? Oh, no, it's off that one. There's a bit on my. Suddenly found another one coming off. Batgirl's costume cut-ups. Very strange, that one again. So another story. I wonder why DC never ever. They don't never seem to put the names of the artists or writers or anything. It's very strange, that. It's one of the things when I grew up obviously with Marvel Comics, and you also always knew the various stories, obviously Gil Kane again. But it's just odd when you look at it and think, why did they put that? Why didn't they give details? Maybe they did somewhere in here, but it certainly didn't jump out. But always great artwork. And of course, Batgirl there. You always knew, obviously, massive heads that he always did. I love that. And of course, great, wonderful fights there. Bang, clop, or zips. And of course, you've got Batman's Hotline Extra. And you've got another Elongated Man. Oh, yes, I remember that one. Bell Ringer. and the baffling bongs. Now, did that one? Yes, that one. That has actually got a name. It's got Mike Squowsey. But this one, no, nothing. No Gil Kane. Very strange. Still, these are great stories. I love those ones. Elongated Man, real good. Again, not generally 6 pages. Oh, another advert. 80-page giant Batman and special all villains issue. Obviously there you got the Joker and many others. And of course you've got another good old direct current. Sort of the equivalent, obviously, in Marvel's Check, this one. There you got the Fastest Man. I love that one. The Death Stalks, Doom Patrol, Sergeant... And again, Bob Hope. Why did they advertise Bob Hope? Very strange. Oh, I've got it. It's going to be definitely a bit of a clean up here. I have definitely got... I can't work this out. Which issues is that? Oh, it's definitely falling apart. That one and that one. This one is 1968. Again, I think this one is definitely going to be having a bit of tape just to make certain it doesn't all separate, or have to put it in a sort of a plastic bag. Otherwise, it's going to be separated from the story. So you got the Riddler. I was never a fan of the Riddler, I have to say. Riddler was one of my least favourite of the Batman villains. It's still, I guess, obviously was popular and turned up a number of times. And there's again Batman, another giant issue. Of course, good old 80-page giant. Couldn't beat those. I loved 80-page giants. And then you got Operation Batman again. Another daring, different Frank Robbins, this one. At least they put that. At least they put an Ivory Novick. And yet, at the same time, they didn't include, again, on the front there, the artist. Why? Absolutely why. And yet you've got on here, again, on Elongated Man. Yeah, they always include that. They did at least put that up there. So you got that, obviously, Trips there is not particularly doing very... The Case of the Clumsy Crook. And you got there going, obviously, stealing some jewellery there. So that's that one. This one is an unusual one. Now, this one, I don't know the date, and I'm going to investigate the date for this one. And it just says Jungle Comics. It's certainly got a bit of a waft, but that's typical for... Now, person put 1940s. I don't know if it is. Looks at the great artwork there. Frank Riddle. At least he's got a name there. By Frank Riddle. Doesn't mean, of course, the artist. I don't know who the artist was. And I'm not an expert when it comes to artists. I'm really not the best. But you can see the story there. I love these ones. This is one of the reasons I got it, actually. I thought, oh, great. Good old jungle story like that. I mean, it's a bit of a battered condition, but, you know, it's fine. Love a good old Golden Age comic. And, well, very decent. This one's got Captain Terry Thunder. So by, again, you don't know. It says by Pierre Leroux. It doesn't mean the art's by that. So it's obviously the story. It looks really good artwork, actually. Very nice. Very pleasant. Decent art. Actually, I would say that looks Al Feldstein, maybe. I don't know. It's got that style. Might be wrong. Completely wrong, probably. But it looks like it. The EC just got this, that style. Maybe. Again, this Wamba, The Jungle Boy by Roy L. Smith. Again, I have no idea who the artwork is for this one. So you've got that. And you've got here... Now, this was, I think, Fiction Comics. Fiction Comics did these ones because the big clue being this one. You got Jumbo and you got Jungle, Fight, Rangers, Jungle Boy, Apache, Longbow, Indians, Cowgirl, Fight Hare, Kanga, and Sheena. So I think that was the fiction big clue there, Fiction House. Actually, his writing style looks very much like EC as well. That sort of style just reminded me of that when I'm looking at it. Taboo, Mysteries of the Jungle. I mean, it's quite a decent... I don't know how many pages. This must be a 64-odd page Jungle Facts. Whatever. I don't know. And Camilla, this one, Camilla by Victor Ibsen. So you've got a lovely Camilla there as well, which is good. And that artwork looks absolutely great as well. Really good. I don't know what the story's about, but I'm saying it's fine. I will look forward to sitting down and reading the story there. But they never included, obviously, much information. Camilla appears every month in Jungle Comics. So this was obviously Jungle Comics, but unfortunately, the page, all the various details about the comic have long gone. But I think I can find it out. Obviously, looking on the various comics databases, I should be able to work out how old this comic is. This one, Journey, and this is Justice League of America. I love Justice League. Now, I probably might have got this one. I don't know. I've got quite a lot of Justice League of Americas, and of course got them all in omnibus. But this one, Journey into the Micro World. Again, it's supposed to be like Fantastic Four one. Of course, Doctor Doom, Micro World. There's always similar stories, isn't there? But you've got them tumbling away. Of course, you've got the Atom, good old, and of course Ant-Man in the Fantastic Four one. Of course, it was a similar sort of story. The very best, and Mystery in Space. And got that, but again, like I say, I might have already had this one with actual cover. I don't know. Hopefully not. It'd be nice to actually have an issue, and I'd be happy to get all of these ones in coverless as well as just have them with the covers. I know what the covers look like. I don't particularly need to have the covers, so the stories are the key thing. So you've got there's Batman's, all the various characters. You've got Batman, Green Arrow, of course Wonder Woman, etc. in the story at that point, and of course, yeah, Aquaman there, and even obviously Batman, Superman, obviously. He's obviously got super strength at that point. And of course he can't budget Superman. That's a bit suspicious, isn't it? However, that's Journey into the Micro World. And nearly the end. This one probably flakes to pieces as I read this. This one's Adam Strange again. This one's 1962. So I've got 61, 62 and a 64. This one, Challenge of Rival Starman, no less. So I guess he's the rival Starman. And we've got the Atom showcase thing. This one has won the right to appear in his own magazine. So that must be Atom number one. Was probably Atom number one. There. Big news for a small superhero. I love the Atom ones. Got quite a few of the Atom ones at the time. And I've got a few now. I haven't got as many as I should have kept. But still, there's some Adam Strange. And they were always quite good stories. I always felt that the thing about Adam Strange was that they developed the story, like wasn't straightforward. It was always, there was reasons why the first things to the end, they actually worked the story out. Sometimes when you read comics, sometimes it's a lot of coincidences that come to it. Whereas I never felt that way with this. It felt like it was well scripted, which is always good with these comics. Maybe not the most interesting way of doing it. I mean, I always preferred the Marvel ones, I have to say. I was a big Marvel fan. But at the same time, I always appreciate these probably more now than I did back then, whereas I was always thought, they're pretty dull in many ways, the old DC ones. But now I think they're a lot better and certainly good, decent stories that you can enjoy. And it had a little short story as well in there as well. I don't know what that one was, Mystery in Space one. Sometimes I had these, it never really was a continuing story or anything. So you got there, obviously you got whales, I don't know what it is. Yeah, you got obviously something weird. Oh, I'm ripping the thing as well. It's falling to pieces as I read it. And the final one, I've got more bits. This one, falling to pieces as well. This one I'm really pleased about. Another reason why I've got this set. And this whole batch cost me about £20, which I was pleased about. I thought, yes, £20, £1 each for the comics, because there were 20 of them. So I love this. Rex the Wonder Dog. Now, I've got no Rex the Wonder Dog. I did actually recently get a lovely collection of the Detective Chimp, but weirdly, DC have yet to bring out a Rex the Wonder Dog series in collection. Why? Why not omnibus, a big collection, whatever. I mean, I don't know how many they did of them, so maybe it's, to be fair, maybe it's not an easy one to do. But this is issue 5, an unusual one, of course. So you've got a complete comic with the dog, which is nothing wrong, of course, with that, but it's just odd that, it's not like Green Lantern or anything else like that. But you've got dog, and of course you've got all the other characters. Obviously the dog's not going to, unless the dog actually has thought balloons giving sort of opinions of what he's thinking at that point. He never did. I wonder why he never did that. He could have had the dog sort of thinking, occasionally saying, want food, instead of, crumbs, I've got to go and solve a crime or something, or save all my various friends, etc. And then, of course, he would dive and save with saying, but you never actually got any, my master, did actually say, my master taught engaging the guard's attention to. So I guess that was the thought balloon for the dog that you actually had. But it's still, and so we did tricks for men. So I guess reading that, it does actually put it above, not actually as giving thought balloons. It's a way of doing it, I guess. Why not? At least you know. But that's good. So you got there. I don't know what this other one is. There's another one afterwards. You've course got the good old adverts there. Army at War, Men at War. War stories obviously were very popular. And you've got, of course, there Rex there looking pretty cheerful. And weird, the next one is, kangaroo. Now, this is a character. Wonder why they didn't have this. Rex the Wonder Dog, but no, we got Lena, the Leaping Lena. Did this character go on for? Maybe there should be a series of Leaping Lena. That'd be great, wouldn't it? Let's go, Lena. And you got wham and stuff. Obviously goes through there. Wow, I did not expect that. That's a very unusual one, Lena. That's a character that obviously my mum. I've seen. Look now. He gets word balloons, speech balloons, or whatever, thought balloons, I should say. That's pretty good. But he doesn't always. So there, he's of course not thinking at all. But then he does. It's right weird, right at the end. That's very odd. Of course, you've got all the usual. I think that was a bubblegum one. Yes, bubblegum, double bubblegum. I remember those. Hounds Round the World, and another Rex dog nabbers from Ridge Park or something. Of Ridge Park. And you've got another great little story there. I think it's really lovely, and I'm really pleased with that. Getting a good old, and this is, like I say, falling to pieces. Unfortunately, the back is falling off there. But you've got here dog data, originally used by, etc. So that is Rex the Wonder Dog, a slightly tatty one. Well, a nice pile of various things all over the place. The comics are falling to pieces, but at the same time, what a great set. I'm really pleased getting that set. I hope you found this of interest. Have you ever bought any sort of thinking, oh, this bundle of comics? It's just one of those things like at comic conventions. Quite often you sort of see a pile of comics and you just pick up a load of comics. You don't know sometimes. You get home and you look for them and sometimes they're good. Sometimes, of course, I know some people just have got a certain list and that's what they go for. I've never done that. I've always generally gone for sort of the heart of the moment, that thought of the moment. I just think, I'm going to go for that. That looks good. I've never seen anything like that before, or that story or whatever, or I remember that, and and it's just nice to pick up, especially if it's a reasonably priced thing. I'm not one for going for sort of £100 ones that are slabbed, but each their own. That's just, good, fine. The comic market, in a sense, can have all those things. Obviously, that's one thing. But for me, I just love sort of those sort of lovely broken down tatty old comics. And I've got lots like that. They're all just great ones. Virtually impossible to sell again. So if you're thinking about, to sell them on again, unlikely that particularly anyone's going to be rushing to get a tatty copy of Rex the Wonder Dog. But I love them. But it's still it's just a pity that more people don't put piles of these sort of lovely old coverless comics. Probably just throw them away, I guess. I don't know. Maybe they, I don't know what they do with them. Anyway, as I say, it'd be great to hear your experiences about these sort of things as well. And please subscribe, obviously, to the channel. Always adding new ones about, obviously, books, as well as DVDs and Blu-rays and 4Ks. I've got another one coming up of 4Ks and Blu-rays. Been watching a lot of stuff. Some good things and some films that I haven't particularly been super known by. But still, I've got... going to go through those as well, and also, of course, a like or obviously a thumbs up, as they always put in nowadays. Thumbs up. Is it a like anymore or thumbs up? Always appreciated. Bye.